Hi, I'm Piper. This is my dad. This is Piper's Notes. Today, here we have the Prince of Positivity, Jarrod Fritz.
What's up, guys? Thanks so much for having me on.
How's it going, brother, man? So how's quarantine life treating you, man?
It's really not that bad. I mean, it's very unfortunate that small businesses such as mine, are suffering everything. But we're just trying to keep our heads up and do the best we can. I'm getting a lot of working out in. I'm getting a lot of gardening done. I've become somewhat of a landscaper. So
I saw that.
It's good times,
I saw that on Twitter, man, that you were becoming an amateur landscaper.
just trying to do my best to fill some time,
So tell me about, we saw today that you were working out to AFI, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But tell me about your small business, and tell me about some of your. Every day you put out a message. My family and I read it every day. You're so positive. Tell me about what you do, man. Outside of the world of the National Wrestling Alliance, what does a day in the life of Jarrod Fritz look like?
So I've always had the intention to add back to the world as much as I possibly can. So I wear many, many different hats. My primary business is I own Define Therapeutic Massage in Charleston, South Carolina, which is a massage therapy clinic that focuses more on kind of like postural alignment and rehab and working with athletes. And then I work with a health and wellness supplement company to kind of like coexist with that. And then on the side of that, me and my wife do a little bit of travel agency work with focus to Disney. So I've got a lot going on in there. And when it comes to the positive messages that I put out there, I found myself about 2, maybe 3 years ago, kind of in a rut myself personally. I've had a history of panic attacks and anxiety throughout my life. And I was just like, man, I say I'm going to do these things, or I read these things, and I feel like they hit me. But if I put it out to the rest of the world, now I got to be held accountable because people are seeing it and they're like, hey, I thought you said this. So I started putting it out there kind of more for me. Right. And then it kind of caught on to a lot of people about, hey, that helped me out too. So I feel like ever since I was a little kid, all I wanted to do is help people feel better and be happy. And because that was doing so, I feel kind of like, I don't want to say like I'm obliged to do it, but like, hey, I'm going to do it because it's fun and it helps me set my day too.
Right. It's like you have found your calling, and you have a mission orientation to it, So it's almost like with parenthood. You feel an obligation. You feel obliged to do something positive, and to create and build and to edify and uplift. So,
I never really thought of it that way. When me and my wife got married, she informed me that she wouldn't be able to carry children anymore, and I've always wanted to be a dad. And luckily, her children, my stepsons, who are adults now, funny enough, I had the opportunity to be a stepdaddy-o, as they call me, to them, which is cool. But this is just an extension of that, being able to kind of like pass that fatherly knowledge along, if you will. So,
right.
I like that perspective.
So with doing therapy and all that, have you? We don't get on here on our show and talk about wrestling a lot, but I'd just be curious if you have worked with any of the talent from the National Wrestling Alliance with your particular mindset and message.
Yeah. So. That little history real quick. Back in 2008, I went to the 2008 Olympics with the women's national soccer team. And the doctor that was there with them is now a doctor for WWE. And so he brought me in for a couple times to work with WWE. And then when I stopped working with them, it had always been my intention, like, I would really like to work with professional wrestlers because I'm a wrestling fan, and how awesome would that be, right? The very first person I ever worked with was Triple H, and that just blew my mind.
What?
So that was cool. So every locker room I go into, whether it's NWA, whether it's an indie promotion, it doesn't matter where I go. As long as the promotion's okay with it, I'll bring my massage chair with me so that I can help people out. I don't charge anybody. It's just like I want to help people out, and I want to see that what I can do can make a difference for them.
Right. So Piper here, she is. Well, I'll let you tell them about your interest and why you wanted to start this project of Piper's Notes and all that.
Well, I like a lot of things, and Piper's Notes, it's just really,
Speak up.
I like a lot of things, and like I want to share that with people, kind of, and this is actually like fun for me, and it's fun for like the people who come on here and the people who watch it, and my dad.
So tell them about your interests.
I love Broadway a lot.
Awesome.
Broadway's my favorite. I have
awesome. Is that your favorite play?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes. Very cool.
She is.
Me and my wife got to.
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, me and my wife finally got to see Wicked. It wasn't on Broadway, but it was at the local Performing Arts Center, and it really was mind blowing. So
Wicked is my wife's favorite musical by far. We are part. I like Wicked too, but we love like Phantom of the Opera and Hamilton. Man.
I love Hamilton.
Oh,
okay. I haven't seen Hamilton yet, but I really want to see. I love Lin-Manuel in Mary Poppins Returns.
Yes.
So, like, if he's any part as good as he would in Hamilton, I'm ready.
So do you have Disney Plus at home? I know you're doing.
Of course.
July the 3rd.
July the 3rd. It's gonna.
Hamilton is being streamed with the original cast: Lin-Manuel, Miranda, and everybody. It's going to be epic, bro. Epic.
I'm in.
So.
I want to get him on the show.
Hey,
yeah, we've been sending out like a message to him every day on Instagram, and he's got like 2.2 million followers. So I'm like, there's like it's like a needle in a haystack chance he's ever going to see our message, But you never know. You never know.
He said goodnight.
You never know.
He did. Yep.
That's awesome.
We have been thinking all day about what song we wanted to rock out to you with, man, and just doing our research and looking on what you're putting out there on social media. We know, and I found out that you are a massive fan of AFI.
Absolutely.
So tell me about that. Like why? What is it about AFI that speaks to you, and what is your favorite song?
So AFI kind of came into my life, I want to say, I think it was like late into my junior year, maybe beginning senior year, like so around 2000. And I had a couple of my friends who were big punk guys and everything. And my buddy was like, listen, you got to listen to this album. And he handed me The Art of Drowning. And I was like, The Art of Drowning? That sounds pretty morbid. Okay, cool. I'll give it a shot. I plugged it in and I was listening to it and I was just kind of getting into it. And then Days of the Phoenix came in. And I was just like instantly attracted to it. Had no idea why. It wasn't until about a couple weeks ago that I realized that there's a strong connection to my life in the wrestling world and Days of the Phoenix and the lyrics that go along with there. But Davey Havoc's ability to write lyrics that are deep and meaningful are just mind blowing to me. And I've just been captivated with their work basically ever since then.
Right. Man, it's funny, and we were talking before we started this Piper's Note session about the connection between rock and wrestling and theater and all that, and we've got a guest coming on who's huge in our house, man. We're big Aiden fans, man. I love Will Control and all that, and he has a uniquely wrestling connection that we'll share. I don't want to spill it now, but like. It's like, I feel the same way, man. AFI, bro. I mean, I love AFI. I love their music videos were so theatrical. Their music is just like, I feel like I could see anybody coming out to their music as theme music. And
and
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and that's one of the things that has always attracted me because, like, I'm a big CM Punk fan, and CM Punk used to come out to. I can't remember which one of it, but he came out to an AFI song for a long period of time, and that's why I always thought growing up that like that would be my intro music. So, but yeah,
There's a CM Punk and a Rancid connection, right?
Yes. Apparently, he's really good friends with Lars Fredrickson, and Lars Fredrickson is a huge pro wrestling fan, so they do a lot of collaborative things and so on and so forth there.
That's cool, man. Well, hey, man, if you don't mind, man, you want to rock out with us for a couple minutes to some AFI?
Absolutely. I'm going to pull it up right now.
All right. What we'll do, we'll do a little 3, 2, 1 countdown, and we'll look at this outstanding video. We're going to rock out to Miss Murder, the long version, and one of the great, most epic videos of all time at one of the most vibrant periods in punk history, AFI's Miss Murder. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Immediately, man, this girl sits down at the table. Got a very
Doing her makeup.
imperial, kind of a gothic feel to it.
I think he was going for Hitler and what was her name?
Eva Braun.
His Miss. Yeah,
Eva Braun, yes.
I think that was the illusion that he was going for.
Kind of a totalitarian kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, his eyes like opened up right on that beat, man. Then the band comes out, man. That is so freaking cool, dude. They did a Cure cover. I think they did like Just Like Heaven or something.
They've done several of them, and I think they did a In Excess cover as well.
Yeah.
And they did a really good cover of
Kind of like their
Morrissey's. I can't remember which. It's the song about Jack the Ripper that Morrissey did.
Oh yeah.
Cover.
Right.
And they do an acoustic cover of Ziggy Stardust.
Yes.
Amazing. Like, look it up. Oh, it's so good.
You see her nails?
Yeah.
What do you want to do with your nails?
Get a Phantom of the Opera design on them. She just ate that piece of paper.
And then what? It like transmutated through like the power that Sting, how Sting used to dematerialize. It just happened right there. Boy, this is cool, man. This is one of the coolest moments in rock.
Hunter's bass riff there is just so like, it's like so memorable.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be one of those things that's going to be passing through the years.
Man, there were so many bands like that were just making it big at this time, like Interpol, Aiden, these guys, I Am Ghost. There's,
AFI's been around since '97.
Oh, dude, they've been around since like almost as long as the Chili Peppers have been.
And I remember the controversy because everybody was terrified that they were going to sell out when they signed on for December Underground because it was their first major record label. But that was in their clause is that they have full and total control over everything.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Were they a Victory Records band? Were they on that label for a while? Like with the Used and Under Oath and all those guys?
I don't think they were Victory. I'd have to go back and look. I don't think they were, because I think their first 3 albums were with one company, and then the second 3 albums with another, and then I think it was December Underground.
Right.
I used to sing this in karaoke a lot. Way back then.
Man, we go to karaoke every Thursday night over here. We just opened up 2 weeks ago.
And it's funny because, the song is what the song is, and it's cool, and it's jamming, and everybody in the crowd, if they're not totally drunk, they're kind of bobbing their head to it. But then when it gets into the breakdown and it gets into the guttural screaming, and like I hit that, people are like, "Whoa, what's going on here?"
Man, we have a guy that comes and does Pearl Jam covers, man, and he's like, "Dude, you sound just like Eddie Vedder. He's amazing." But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Doesn't she kind of look like Peggy from Hamilton?
Let's see. Yeah, she does actually.
And Mariah.
The whole bunny rabbit thing, man.
So cute.
Man, he comes out there to the crowd. This is the whole totalitarian element right there.
Yep.
So it
I
looks
don't
like
know how people can do that with their voice.
it's coming from the soul, man.
So, and it is like there's a DVD and a CD that you can buy. It's called The Zen of Screaming. That the lady who teaches you how to scream is actually the same person that taught Corey Taylor from Slipknot.
Dude, I love Slipknot, man.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he's the lead singer for Lamb of God. Like, she taught both of those guys. So,
dude,
because interesting story in the Sing the Sorrow album. That's where Davey blew out his vocals, and I was actually at the concert where he blew out his vocals, and he had to have the surgery. And so that's why a lot of his stuff. That's why a lot of his stuff now, like the newer stuff, is very similar. He doesn't do nearly as much screaming or anything, but I appreciate that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So you mentioned Lamb of God. Are you a Lamb of God fan? Because we love Lamb of God in our house, man. My girls rock out the Lamb of God.
I am more of a fan of the older Lamb of God than I am of the newer stuff.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that just has to go with the triple bass kick.
Yeah.
It's just so driving. So driving.
Have you heard Memento Mori yet? The new one? The first single off the new record? Dude,
I don't think I have, no.
We did a Piper's Notes episode with Adam Rotella, man. He had no clue what to expect. It was, that song is epic, man. It's like,
We told him it was like bluegrass music. Because that's the stuff he likes.
Like, I'm with you. I like the older Lamb of God stuff. I used to, when I was in the Army, that's what we'd listen to in the morning, like PT. But, like, Memento Mori, like, right now, it's my favorite Lamb of God song. Like, number one. I think it's, you have to listen
I'll have to check it out.
It is so cool.
Right on.
So let's talk about, like, the broader connection here with theater and stuff. Do you follow theater at all, or I know that you and your wife like Wicked. Are there any other musicals that you're into?
So I'm a huge Disney fan. So if that classifies as musicals, then absolutely. We listen to on Spotify. We listen to Disney all the time, like when we're cleaning the house or cooking dinner or whatever. Huge fan of that stuff. Probably my favorite Disney movie of all time has got to be Mary Poppins, and there's a very matriarchal connection with me and my mom because we grew up because my biological father left when I was younger,
right?
And her mom used to listen to the original, like she has the record that they used to listen to when they would clean the house, and so like my mom passed that on to me, and it's just one of those things that I absolutely love.
Yeah. Oh, that absolutely counts, and it's so appropriate that Disney has this like relationship with Broadway, that they're bringing on these different musicals and stuff, and they also the hashtag what's it called, the Stay With Me or the
hashtag isn't that Angela Weber?
Yeah, they're doing that with it.
Hashtag show must go on.
Yeah, show must go on, and they're showing, like, on Friday nights, they're showing old Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals. You know, The Phantom, Love Never Dies, Cats, and different ones and stuff. So it's cool. That's some questions.
I would definitely like to get more into it, but I can honestly say that I'm not as invested as I probably want to be at this point. I have had the opportunity to go see the Nutcracker at the Lincoln Center in New York, which was awesome, and I know that's not really a musical, but that was cool, and I got to see a couple of off-Broadway plays, which was awesome, but I've never actually got to see anything on Broadway, like one of the bigger plays. I've got to see a couple things here. I saw a rendition of Sweeney Todd here locally at the Charleston Performing Arts Center. I wasn't very impressed with it, because it was one of those acts where they only have like one prop, and they just always use the prop for like the counter and then the ship, and it really wasn't all that great. But we saw Wicked, and it was mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
We saw an off-Broadway play. We saw Rock of Ages.
Very cool.
You ever seen the Rock of Ages musical before? The one that Tom Cruise did. It's we love it. A lot of people criticize it. We think it's great, but we wouldn't.
I think I watched a part of it. Like I think it was on TV somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, I wanted to see this," and it was just kind of in the background more than anything. Yeah. But I don't think I've gotten to see it like all the way through yet.
Well, if you love like '80s music and stuff, man, bro, you got it. It's cool. It's way cool. What else have we seen on my list?
Oh yeah, we saw Beetlejuice and Phantom of the Opera.
Right on. Very cool. Beetlejuice must have been awesome.
It was.
Man, we bought those. We went and my wife and I, we love Phantom, and she does too.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the big thing that we got her for Christmas. We got her Phantom tickets.
Before I got into Phantom, I was into Beetlejuice, and I loved it so much.
It was such a delightful musical, man. You and your wife, when it tours and it will tour, you are gonna love it, man. It's like
very cool.
It's so good.
Very cool. So one of my clients did a short-lived Broadway. I shouldn't say Broadway, but it's a musical version of Army of Darkness.
Oh man, that's a great the horror film. We love horror movies too. Yep. Well, we're very selective about the ones we let her watch, but she likes. We're letting her into it slowly. Phantom is kind of semi-horror, and Beetlejuice is too. So,
right on.
So I have some questions for you. So the first one is about Broadway. What if you could be any Broadway character or Disney character, because that's technically like a musical / Broadway, which character would you be?
Man, that is a tough question. I think I would have to go with Bert from Mary Poppins. I just love the way that his character is always positive. He always sees the good in everything, but he's not rich. He's just a street guy, and I love that.
Right.
Your other one, what is your guilty pleasure in music, if you have one?
Guilty pleasure in music. 80s pop, particularly Tiffany's I Think We're Alone Now.
Oh, snap! I love Tiffany, man. I think we're alone now.
It was always very catchy, and then when it came out in the Umbrella Academy, it did the whole little dance thing to it.
Yeah.
I was so
she was sizzling,
so now,
man. She was one of my first crushes ever as a kid, man. I had my Swatch watch. Man, I had my Swatch watch at the roller skate. We were looking, I think the song I really liked from hers was the one like, the flowers you gave me are just about to... Remember that one?
The ultimate time I've heard Tiffany was when I was watching Full House.
Right on.
Yeah.
Your last question is, what is your favorite band?
Oh, my favorite band?
Well, hold on. Not counting AFI.
Okay, so that's actually what I was going to say. So, like, my favorite band is AFI, but if it wasn't for The Cure, which is my absolute favorite band, there would be no AFI. And Davey Havoc has already said that if it wasn't for Robert Smith and The Cure, there would probably be no AFI. So that answers that question.
Bro,
The Cure,
we are soul brothers, man. The Cure is my favorite band. My wife and I have seen The Cure like 17 times.
I'm so jealous right now.
So for me, like, my favorite Cure album, I love the trilogy. I really like Blood Flowers a lot. But Faith, man, for me, the album Faith is like Faith and Disintegration are the perfect records. So,
I was going to say Disintegration is mine, and then if you want to throw a compilation in there, I believe Mixed Up is a really, really cool. Just because it takes a lot of their really good songs and then just really mixes it up, like it really hits. So
in Mixed Up, they did that remix of the Caterpillar, and what did you think of that compared to like the original? Because that's kind of in Cure fandom, that's kind of controversial.
Yeah. So actually, I listened to the mixed up version of Caterpillar before I listened to the original.
Right.
So I probably skewed more towards that, but I do like it because of that. Like, it makes me think of a caterpillar. Like so I'm drawn in. So I like that one. So if people want to be controversial about it, they can. But I like that one.
Well, we asked that guilty pleasure question, but I can't remember who it was. It was who was it that told us?
It was.
Oh, it was. We interviewed a guy coming out in a few weeks. His name is Reverend Dan Wilson. He was big in the NWA Anarchy days, back when Adam Pearce was the world's champion, 2010, 2011. Now he does a
podcast called
One Good Scare
Yeah.
on horror movies.
Mhm.
But he made one of the best, most intelligent points that I really appreciate. He said, you know what? I don't believe in guilty pleasures. If you like it, then it works for you. And so, like, for me, like, I felt like the second Caterpillar Alpha Mix-Up was better than the original. I loved it, man. I thought it was like,
Yeah.
and I thought the Fascination Street was better than the original. And
Very much so. Very much so.
you know, but well, brother, man, hey, man, we had an absolute blast with you. You've been one of our coolest guests. You're so positive, and we thank you for the energy that you bring to the NWA community and the fan base and the stuff that you put out every day. Keep doing it, brother. You have a friend in the Stinson household, and we're so happy that you came on Piper's Notes, man. And you know, best wishes to you and your family, and keep bringing those good vibes, man.
It's my pleasure, man. Thank you guys so much.
All right, bro. Take care, man.
Take care.